Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. In today's one, we're going to give you an honest rundown of our latest purchase, which is Starlink RV. Before we get into that though, we'll kick back about 4 weeks in time where we first picked it up. Righto guys, welcome back to another episode where today we are talking to you about Starlink. Yes, we ordered Starlink for our use on the road. Now, we've been in WA for about, how long now, Erin? 3 months? 4 months?
Since July.
So something, that's maths.
That's a long time.
We were struggling with the internet, and we're trying to, at the current moment, upload 2 videos to YouTube a week. So, look, we thought we'd invest in Starlink. There's been great reviews on it so far. It was about $1,000, so 900 and something. Oh, we'll put the number in once we figure it out. Yeah, it's a lot of money, isn't it, mate? For the hardware itself, which is the dish, I guess you call it the modem and all the cables and everything. And then it's another $174 a month. Now that's for Starlink RV, which means you can roam around with it and set it up wherever you are. It doesn't matter where you are located in the country. So currently for internet, we use this little guy over here. So that little guy over there, that is the Telstra Nighthawk, and that is the 4G version. So we got told when we were buying it from the guys at the Telstra store to go for the 4G one because it would work better in a lot more remote areas around the country. So the way that thing works is we have to have some kind of signal, and we went and bought a antenna and patch lead for it, and it actually made a really big difference. We just run it out the window. You can see the cable going out there. Sit it up on the roof of the van, and we've been quite surprised at a lot of locations where we've had pretty much very low 3G on our phones. Hook that thing up, get the antenna up, and we get quite good reception. But in saying that, you have to have some kind of reception. So that's why we went for the Starlink. Big investment, but we're hoping it'll really pay for itself with us uploading videos around the country.
Can we open it already?
Yes, you're excited for the unboxing, aren't you? Righto, we'll open it up, we'll see what's in it.
So we can use the box.
Not excited about the
You don't
internet,
care what's
just the
inside.
box.
Alright, are you ready? Ah, you can't see.
That's an Uncle Sam thing.
Is it? Alright,
What is that?
that is
Half
plastic.
or something.
Oh, that is TV.
Okay, that's our, oh yeah, big solid metal base. I'll just slide that over here. Wow, that is big. Okay, instructions on a massive card,
That's random.
and that's our, I guess, our modem, eh? Router.
The modem.
Okay. Oh Jesus, you can run it a fair way from where you set it up. Okay, let's just put this in here so I don't have to keep carrying it.
That box. This is a big card for only 3 instructions.
Thank goodness. Where are we going to keep this?
I don't know. We didn't really consider that, did we?
I wasn't expecting it to be this big.
So from the get-go, we've already had a little bit of drama. We ordered this thing, when was it? About a month ago. Being on the road, anyone who's on the road will know that getting things delivered is a little bit tricky at times. You have to work out where you're going to be and allow enough time to get it delivered there. So we gave ourselves a heap of leeway, and we've organised to have it delivered somewhere way down the track from where we're going to be at the time. Now, what happened was they gave us, very next day after ordering it, it said it was shipped. They gave us a shipping number that was a DHL shipping number. Now, nothing happened through that tracking number. It just sat and sat and sat. So I got onto DHL, and they basically said that number's not an actual shipping number. That's their own number they've made up. That's probably for their own reference. They could not find anything in the system. So after quite a bit of mucking around, we got onto Australia Post because we found out that it was being shipped through Star Trek, which is now Australia Post. They had a tracking number, they had a consignment number for it, but they didn't have a product. The product either hadn't been delivered or they hadn't picked it up. Nobody knew what was going on. It was just sitting in limbo. We'd already gone past the place we were meant to pick it up. We were getting very annoyed. Now, the hardest thing about this is Starlink does not have a phone number or an email address. You have to get on their website and you have to create a ticket. That's all good, but they take so long to get back to you. So, bit of back and forth. It was really annoying because they just kept telling me it was shipped. Here's the shipping number, which wasn't a correct DHL number. So, eventually, we actually got onto the Ombudsman, started a bit of a complaint, and finally the product showed up a month later. So, it was meant to be here within 2 weeks, and they start charging you after the 2 weeks. So that was a bit of a muck around. We've finally got it sorted now, so hopefully it is all worth it. So from our research, we already know that Starlink works quite well as long as you have a clear line of sight to the sky, because they're satellites, obviously. Now, the one downfall for it being in a caravan is this fella. It's only powered by 240. Now, I have already seen that a few people have done their own little jerry-rigging to the device so it runs off 12 volt rather than 240. Look, I'm not about to start pulling this thing apart and mucking around with it to do that. Hopefully, somewhere down the track, they do come out with some way to power it by 12 volt. But for now, it is 240, which means we have to have our inverter on. I don't know how much power this draws. We will find that out once we do fire it up and let you know how much that is. So it appears to be quite easy with our massive instruction card. Get your dish, put it on the ground, plug the cord in to the router, plug the power in, go to the app. So let's do that. Alright, so we'll chuck our unit on the ground. I do like how much cable they give you. That makes it really easy if you've got to run it quite a distance, say if you've got some trees around you. Rightio, so we are in Lucky Bay, WA, the one that is near Geraldton, because there are a couple of Lucky Bays apparently. This is a good place to try this because we have the tiniest bit of 3G here. Now, with our Nighthawk, it's actually been quite good. We've been getting enough of that 3G to stream videos and whatnot, but on and off. It doesn't work well all the time. So this is going to be really good to find out if this thing trumps the Nighthawk. All right, so very simple. You've got your input there for the satellite. Looks like it's got a weather seal on it too, so that's pretty good. And then you've got your 240. Oh yeah, they're good plugs. Gets me excited.
Like some good plugs, eh?
Oh, I love a good waterproof plug. Alright. So, we'll get the app going now, which I pre-downloaded because obviously if you don't have internet, you can't get an app. What have we got? Has it got a power button? No, it's got power. That's on. What do I do? Settings. Support. Oh yeah, there we go. Starlink pops up. So there's our normal, I've just shown everyone our, oh, we won't be using that anymore, that's okay. So we'll click on Starlink. So as we were mucking around with the phone, we didn't even notice the panel itself, the dish, has flattened itself out. So I'll chuck my password in here. Alright, so it's telling me to scan the sky. Point my camera up and move it around like an idiot. Look like a proper
Looks exactly like you're searching for internet.
We've got to do down here. There we go. Few results. This is a great place. Okay,
Perfect.
good. I put it there. So what happens? So that was just a test to check. I'm online now. Okay. Oh, so it just took a little bit to boot up. So let's see. Network speed. Okay.
We don't know anything about
I have
speeds.
no idea about internet speeds. I see people put stuff up all the time about Starlink. They're like, we're getting this something something and MPS or whatever it is. I'm like, oh.
If it works, that's all we need to know.
Can you download something?
Or upload something,
See-
more importantly.
156 Mbps's. I hope they're good. 32 Mbps's upload. Cool. 66 ms latency. I understand nothing. Let's just go to something. If you understand all those numbers, let me know. Numbers and letters, what do they mean? Dumb it down for me, please. So, what do we got? I will check something. Let's go to YouTube.
Still not the quickest, is
Nah, it's not. Let's have a look. Oh, let's watch these guys. Let's see if it streams it well. We'll watch the ads so they get paid more.
Well, it's streaming the ads well.
Yeah, but the ads always go really good. Alright,
I think it's working.
it's playing pretty smoothly. Keep in mind, there's only like 1 or 2 bars of 3G here. Yeah, cool. Alright. So it appears to work good. Obviously, we'll have to properly test it. And oh, it's moved again.
Oh.
It's a sneaky little thing. So obviously, it just keeps searching around for the best connection to the satellites. Places like this are going to be good because we've got bugger all trees. I have heard of people parking places where they've got a couple of trees and it does bring it down quite a bit. But I think it's such a high speed on the what am I trying to say? The satellite internet, that even when you've got a lower speed, it's still much better than your standard phone connection. Another thing is mounting it. So there's a few different mounting brackets you can buy. I have seen a few people mount them on the roof of their caravan, and ideally you'd want to run your cables through a grommet or something that's going to be watertight so that you don't have to run this all out every time. You just have to pop your dish on. But for now, we'll just run it like this. We're not sure what we're doing with our setup at the end of the year. I don't want to go drilling any holes into the caravan. So we'll just keep running it like this. Maybe even on a non-windy day, sit that satellite on the roof. I'm not too sure. But yeah, we'll obviously it needs a bit of testing to see how it's going to go, and then we'll be able to give you a proper, rundown and bit of feedback on the thing. Righto, so it's been sitting here for a bit. It's got itself all sorted out, and I've just run a speed test on both the Starlink and the Nighthawk that we've got set up in the van. So the Nighthawk came in at 6.7 Mbps download and 0.7 Mbps upload. The Starlink came in at 135 Mbps download and 36 Mbps upload. So that is a massive difference. Everything is working so quickly in the van at the moment. Doesn't matter what we're doing on the internet. Now, that's not to say anything bad about the Nighthawk, because the Nighthawk works extremely well in its own circumstances where it's meant to run well. Obviously out here there is bugger all internet. It's got nothing to work with because it runs off your 3G, 4G and 5G. So the Nighthawk has been fantastic for us so far when you have reception. When you don't though, this is going to be an absolute game changer. I think it won't be long before there's other companies out there running satellite internet, and it's hopefully going to get cheaper because it is quite expensive at the moment. But the fact that we've outlaid that money and we now know that wherever we are, we will hopefully have some form of internet. So I'm really excited to see how this thing performs around the country. So stay tuned, we'll let you know. All right, so we've been using the Starlink for 2 days now. It is amazing, isn't there?
It's so good.
It's like nothing is lagging, everything works perfectly. Now, downfalls. One is like, it's good because if you need to push that heat far away from your van, you got all that extra length. But when you're somewhere like here, we've just got to set it up right next to it. You got this tangle of a massive cable, and like I've said before, the other thing is it runs on 240 only. Now we had a lot of messages when I put up a little screenshot on Instagram showing that we've got it now and showing our speeds. A lot of people were saying how good those speeds were, because like we said, we didn't understand those numbers, but they are, you know, really good. And like I said, it runs off 240, but I did check it out at night. We turned everything else off, made sure obviously there was no power coming in. It was drawing around 3 to 4 amps, which isn't too bad. So we've just got to figure out how we're going to set it up so it's not, because we've got the router sitting outside here at the moment. So we've just got to figure out how we're going to do it. We've got a few little ideas of other things we're going to do, but initial thoughts is the thing is amazing. Absolute game changer. Anyway, we're going to pack it up now.
That's
And
the only other thing is
where we're putting it, yeah. I reckon. Apparently it's got like a stowaway. So when you're done, you do something. Oh, stowaway. Stow Starlink. So stowing will tilt your Starlink for storage or shipping. This will interrupt your service. Okay. Stow Starlink. Okay.
oh, it moves fast.
Righto, so we've been using the Starlink for about a month now, and initial thoughts are the thing is bloody amazing. The speeds that we're getting are absolutely incredible. There is nothing we can't do. We're uploading videos absolutely anywhere, and it's really helping us with doing the YouTube side of our travels. So what we're comparing it to really is this guy here. I showed it earlier. It's the Telstra Nighthawk. This is the 4G model. We've paired that up with this antenna here. So that would just run out the window up onto the roof of the van. It's been quite good to us. We've had some times where we've had hardly any reception on our phones, and this has really boosted it and given us a strong enough signal so that we can upload videos, watch a bit of Netflix, do some stuff like that. So Starlink itself, let's go with some pros and cons. We'll start off with the cons first. It's powered by 240 only. Now, I don't know what Elon was thinking. He obviously doesn't get out in a caravan very much because you know, we don't have 240 as a readily accessible power source. I mean, we do have it. We've obviously got inverters and stuff, but it means we've got to have our inverter running all the time to run the Starlink. So in saying that, it doesn't draw too much power. It's only, you know, a couple of amps is what it's pulling. But it would be nice if there was a 12-volt version, and I'm sure eventually they will get into something like that. This is only version 1 of Starlink RV. I'm sure there's bigger and better things to come. The other bad side of it really is it's bulky. It's quite a large unit. It doesn't weigh all that much, but you've got to put the thing somewhere. So we lay it down on our bed. It's not the worst, but every time you pull up somewhere, you've sort of got to pull it out and move it before you can get into doing anything in your van, really. The cost. Obviously, it's a fair bit of an outlay, even though Starlink RV right now are doing half price. Thank you, Starlink, for doing that after we bought ours. But $174 a month. It's not the cheapest thing, but for the quality of internet you're getting, I think it's well worth it. It is for us anyway. Another negative is needing to have a good line of sight. Obviously, they're run off satellites, and the dish itself has to be able to see those satellites in a direct line. So you can't park under a heap of trees or in between some buildings that have a lot of obstruction. It will weaken your signal. But in saying that, even a weak signal on the Starlink is still better than most other internet connections you can get. That's why we haven't mounted our Starlink on the roof of our caravan. When we go to set off next year, we'll have a different setup with a caravan. So I will be looking at doing some kind of mount on the roof so that I can mount it up there if we're in a clear area. but at the same time you do have the feet for it, and it has a very long cable, so you don't really get stuck. If you can't get a good line of sight from the roof of your caravan, you can pull it out, run it a fair distance from your van into a bit of open area, and you're pretty much guaranteed to get it out there. The pros. You're pretty much going to have excellent internet anywhere. It is so good. We had people messaging us through Instagram the first time we put up a screenshot of our speeds, and they were everyone was just saying, that's amazing, that's better than I have on my expensive NBN plan I've got at home. So I had no idea about numbers, and you know, you could see in that earlier footage that we're not tech guys, we don't understand any of that stuff, but really happy. We can do absolutely anything we want. We stream YouTube, Netflix, our videos are uploading the quickest we've ever done it, and that's really why we got this Starlink. We're trying to upload 2 videos a week at the moment, and we would have times where we're camping somewhere where there's no reception. We'd get in the car, we'd go for a massive drive to find somewhere, and yeah, have to sit there and wait while a video uploaded. But now we're uploading videos at absolutely no time at all. So we are absolutely stoked with it. Another great thing with it is that you can actually pause your plan. So when we get to Brisbane, when we've finished up this part of our travel before we get ready to head off again, we'll actually pause our plan because we'll have good enough phone reception to be able to just use those instead of paying the $174 a month. So that can just sit there and idle, and we're not paying for it while we're not using it. So to wrap it all up, is Starlink worth it? Yes, in my opinion, it is 100% worth it. For the price you pay, the quality you get is absolutely amazing, and you pretty much have internet anywhere. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this one. I hope that helped you make a decision of whether Starlink RV is for you or not. Like always, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.